The soft hum of Stella's lullaby in her ears, and the calm of the night wrapping around her like a soft blanket. Her worries were gone, melted away by the magic of the night and the kindness of her new friends. "Thank you, Greta," Luna whispered, her voice soft and sleepy. "That's such a beautiful story. And thank you, Stella, for your lullaby. I feel so calm now, and I'm so sleepy." Stella smiled, floating down to rest on Luna's shoulder. "Sleep is a gift, little Luna," she said, her voice soft and gentle. "It's not something you have to fight for, it's something you let come to you, when your heart is calm and your mind is quiet. Let the starlight guide you to sleep, and know that I'll be here, singing for you all night long." Greta nodded, her eyes crinkling with kindness. "Sleep well, little Luna. The stars are watching over you, the moon is keeping you warm, and the forest is safe. Tomorrow morning, the sun will rise, and there will be new joys waiting for you, new butterflies to chase, new clover to nibble, new friends to meet. But for now, rest." Luna closed her eyes, her breathing slowing down. She felt Stella's tiny hand on her fur, warm and gentle, and heard her soft lullaby floating in the air. She felt the cool night air, the warmth of the stone, and the gentle glow of the stars above. Her body relaxed completely, her paws going limp, her tail curling around her body like a cozy blanket. "Good night, Stella," Luna whispered, her voice barely audible. "Good night, Greta. Good night, stars. Good night, moon." "Good night, Luna," Stella said, continuing to sing her lullaby. "Sweet dreams." "Good night, little one," Greta said, fluttering back to her perch on the church roof. "Sleep soundly." Luna nodded, her eyes still closed. She slowly stood up, her legs feeling light and wobbly, and hopped softly back to her burrow, guided by Stella's glow and the light of the stars. She crawled into her burrow, lay down on her soft bed of clover and wool, and pulled the pink scarf over herself. Stella floated to the entrance of the burrow, her wings glowing softly, like a tiny night light, and continued to sing her lullaby, guarding Luna as she slept. The lullaby grew softer, and the moonlight streamed through the entrance of the burrow, warming Luna's fur. Her breathing became deep and steady, slow and calm. She no longer thought about the butterfly, the warm milk, or the little bird. Her mind was quiet, her heart was peaceful, and sleep had wrapped around her like a soft, warm hug. In her dream, she was hopping through a moonlit meadow, with Stella flying beside her, her wings sparkling with starlight. They danced under the stars, listened to Greta tell more stories, and nibbled on sweet clover leaves by the brook. Everything in her dream was warm and beautiful, full of joy and peace, and she laughed softly in her sleep, her voice as light as a feather. Outside, the night continued to unfold gently. The moon glided across the sky, its silver light covering the meadow, the orchard, and Luna's burrow. The stars twinkled softly, as if they were singing along with Stella's lullaby, and the brook gurgled on, its gentle song mixing with the wind rustling through the apple trees. Stella floated slowly through the orchard, singing her lullaby to all the sleeping animals, making sure they slept soundly. Greta perched on her branch, watching over the village and the forest, her eyes soft and wise. The lavender in the meadow exhaled its sweet fragrance, drifting through the air, and the apple blossoms nodded gently in the wind, as if they were listening to Stella's song. The whole world was quiet and peaceful, wrapped in the magic of the night, guarding the sweet dreams of every creature. Good night, little Luna. Good night, gentle moon. Good night, shining stars. Good night, kind Stella. Good night, wise Greta. Good night, every animal in the forest, every flower in the meadow, every tree in the orchard. May you all have sweet dreams, and may the starlight guard you until the sun rises. Sleep, sleep, and let all your worries melt away in the moonlight. Have a sweet dream, good night. The moonlight flowed more gently, like a soft lullaby floating in the air, wrapping around every corner of Hazelwood. The squirrels snored softly in their apple tree, the frog drifted gently on the lily pad, and the ants slept soundly in their hill, all safe and warm under the stars' watch. As the last streak of sunlight vanished behind the rolling green hills, the village of Hazelwood and the surrounding forest slipped into a soft, quiet hush. The sky morphed from a warm tangerine to a deep, velvety indigo, and one by one, the stars began to twinkle, tiny, bright lights that dotted the sky like scattered diamonds. The moon, half full and glowing softly, rose slowly above the maple trees, casting a gentle silver glow over the meadows, the brooks, and the cozy burrows of the forest animals. Little rabbit Luna lay curled up in her burrow at the edge of the forest, her soft white fur glowing in the faint moonlight that seeped through the entrance. Her big, round blue eyes were wide open, staring at the ceiling of her burrow, which was lined with soft ferns, and no matter how hard she tried to close them, sleep just wouldn't come. Luna's burrow was warm and inviting, lined with dry clover and soft sheep's wool that her mother had collected for her. Beside her, there was a small bowl of fresh clover leaves she'd nibbled on earlier, and a tiny, knitted scarf that the village tailor's daughter had left for her, soft, pink, and warm, perfect for cool nights. Everything around her was meant to soothe her, but her little heart was fluttering with restlessness, filled with tiny thoughts that buzzed like busy bees, refusing to quiet down. "Why can't I sleep?" Luna whispered to herself, her voice as soft as the rustle of fern leaves. She stretched out her paw and touched the pink scarf, feeling its softness against her fur. She thought about the butterfly she'd chased through the clover meadow that morning. Its wings were bright purple, with tiny white spots, and it had fluttered just out of her reach. She wondered if it had found a safe place to rest for the night, tucked under a leaf. She thought about the warm milk the village baker had given her that afternoon, sweet and creamy, and wondered if he was now fast asleep, dreaming of fresh bread. She even thought about the little bird that had fallen from its nest earlier that day, which she and her mother had carefully placed back, and worried if it was snuggled up to its mother, warm and safe. These thoughts swirled around in her head like dandelion seeds in the wind, light but persistent, making her eyelids feel heavy but her mind wide awake. Maybe I should go outside, Luna thought. Maybe the night air will calm me, and maybe the stars will tell me a secret to help me sleep. She carefully crawled out of her burrow, her paws stepping softly on the cool, damp grass, trying not to make a sound. She didn't want to wake the other animals who were already fast asleep in their homes. The night was gentle and magical. The moonlight turned the meadow into a silver sea, and every dewdrop on the grass and clover sparkled like tiny stars fallen to the ground. The air was cool and fresh, mixed with the scent of wild lavender blooming in the corner of the meadow and the faint, sweet aroma of apple blossoms from the orchard on the edge of the village. Luna took a deep breath, and the cool air filled her lungs, making her feel a little lighter, as if some of her restlessness had drifted away with the breeze. She hopped slowly along the narrow path that led to the orchard, her paws barely making a sound on the soft grass. Along the way, she passed many sleeping animals, a family of squirrels curled up in a hollow apple tree, their bushy tails wrapped around their bodies like warm blankets, a little frog floating quietly on a lily pad in the brook, its eyes closed and its webbed feet resting gently on the water. Even the busy ants had returned to their hill, their tiny footsteps fading into the night as they settled down to sleep. "Everyone is asleep but me," Luna sighed, stopping at the edge of the orchard. The apple trees stood tall and quiet, their branches heavy with ripe, red apples that glowed in the moonlight. A small brook wound through the orchard, its water flowing softly over smooth stones, making a gentle, rhythmic gurgle that felt like a lullaby. Luna sat down on a warm, flat stone and watched the water flow, her ears drooping softly with weariness. Just then, she saw a faint, twinkling light falling from the sky, slow, gentle, and bright, like a tiny star that had decided to visit the earth. Luna's eyes lit up, her curiosity getting the better of her. She hopped softly towards the light, which landed gently on the petal of a wild rose in the orchard. As she drew closer, she realized it wasn't a star at all, it was a tiny fairy, with delicate wings that sparkled like dewdrops and a dress made of moonbeam silk. Her hair was golden, and her eyes were as bright as the stars above. "Hello," Luna said softly, not wanting to startle the fairy. The fairy looked up, her face breaking into a gentle smile that made her eyes crinkle at the corners. She fluttered her wings softly, and a tiny shower of sparkles fell around her, glowing faintly in the moonlight. I'm Luna. I couldn't sleep, and I saw your light falling from the sky. Who are you? Hello, Luna, the fairy said, her voice tiny and melodic, like the tinkle of a wind chime. My name is Stella, and I'm a star fairy. I come down from the sky every night to sing lullabies to the animals of the forest, to help them sleep soundly. I saw you were awake, and I thought I'd come say hello. That's wonderful, Luna said, sitting down gently beside the rose, careful not to crush its petals. I wish I could hear your lullaby. I have too many thoughts, and I can't fall asleep. I'm so tired, but my mind won't quiet down. I'd be happy to sing for you, Stella said, floating up into the air and hovering above Luna's head. My lullabies are made of starlight and moonbeams, and they have magic in them, magic that quiets busy minds and calms restless hearts. Just close your eyes, breathe slowly, and let the music wrap around you. Luna closed her eyes, as Stella had told her, and took a slow, deep breath. Stella began to sing, a soft, melodic song that sounded like the wind rustling through the apple trees, the brook gurgling, and the stars twinkling. Her voice was gentle and warm, like a hug from her mother, and it seemed to fill the air around Luna, wrapping her in a soft, cozy blanket of sound. As she listened, Luna felt her body relax. The busy thoughts in her head began to slow down, like bees settling into their hive for the night. She felt the cool night air on her fur, the warmth of the stone beneath her, and the gentle glow of Stella's wings on her face. For the first time that night, she felt calm, truly calm. Look up, Stella whispered, her song fading for a moment. Luna opened her eyes and looked at the sky. The stars were twinkling brighter than ever, and the moon was shining down on her, warm and gentle. In the distance, perched on the roof of the village church, was an old owl named Greta. She was the guardian of the village and the forest, and she knew all the stories of the night. Greta! Luna called softly, waving her paw. The owl turned her head, her big, round eyes glowing in the dark, and hooted softly, a warm, comforting sound. Would you tell me a story? Stella's song is helping, but I think a story would make me sleep even better. Greta fluttered down from the church roof and landed gently on the branch of an apple tree beside Luna. Her feathers were gray and soft, and her face was lined with wisdom, like the bark of the old apple tree. Of course, little Luna, she said, her voice deep and warm, like a cozy fire on a cool night. I have a story about a little rabbit just like you, who couldn't sleep because her mind was too busy with worries. Once upon a time, Greta began, her voice slowing down, as if she was wrapping the story in a soft blanket. There was a little rabbit named Clara, who lived in a meadow just like this one. Every night, when the moon rose and the stars came out, Clara would curl up in her burrow, but she could never fall asleep. Her mind was always busy. She worried about finding enough food the next day, about the big storm that might come, about the friends she thought she might lose. Her worries were like little clouds, covering the calm of the night and keeping sleep away. One night, Clara decided to go outside and look for the stars. She thought if she could touch a star, it would take her worries away. She hopped through the meadow and the orchard, following the moonlight, until she reached the edge of the forest. There, she met a star fairy just like Stella, who was singing a lullaby to a family of sleeping rabbits. The fairy told Clara that she didn't need to touch a star to lose her worries, she just needed to listen, to breathe, and to trust that the night would take care of her. The fairy sang her a lullaby, and Clara closed her eyes and listened. She breathed slowly, in and out, and as she did, her worries began to melt away, like ice melting in the warm sun. The fairy told her that worries are like leaves in the wind, they come and go, but the calm of the night is always there, waiting to wrap around her. She also told her that every star in the sky is a guardian, watching over her and keeping her safe. Clara listened, and for the first time, she felt peace. She lay down on the grass, under the stars, and let the fairy's song and the gentle night wrap around her. Before she knew it, she was asleep, dreaming sweet dreams of starlight and moonbeams, of meadows and apple trees, of friends and warm hugs. From then on, every night, Clara would go outside, listen to the star fairy's lullaby, and let the calm of the night fill her heart. She never had trouble sleeping again. Greta finished the story, and the orchard fell quiet, only Stella's soft humming, the brook's gurgle, and the wind rustling through the apple trees could be heard. Luna listened carefully, her eyes growing heavier and heavier. She felt the warmth of the moon on her fur.